Hey guys, how we doing? I'm back from my trip to Scotland. Had a really good session yesterday on Chess Bootcamp Live. We're doing a 15 plus 10. I'm rated 1544. And we are searching. I'm uploading another video, so may take a wee while. Okay, opponent is 1379. I'm going to carry on with the Van Geet, why not? Okay, and we have, this is the reverse Nimzovich. So we can go d4 here. D4 is like what you would do, I think, in the Nimzovich, or d5. But let's play this one. And see what happens. So we're attacking the pawn immediately. Natural moves are probably knight c6 or push. We have knight c6. Okay. And now I think d4. Okay, we take. I really don't know the theory of this, which is great because it means that we are, we're just playing chess. Now the queen's looking down at g7, okay, which was tying the bishop down to the defense of that pawn. Knight blocks makes sense. I am tempted to bring this bishop out and pin the knight, because then I'm also threatening to take twice, which will mess up his pawns. And the other bonus is I get to maybe long castle. Okay. Okay, so he's wanting to castle. I get it. I could go for the fianchetto. e4, e5. What do you think of that? Could come here. If he takes, nope, that doesn't work, because then queen takes queen. Okay, I think long castles. I'll hold fire on what I want to do with this bishop for now. It's very tempting. This is really the subject of my my session yesterday, Chess Bootcamp. Was all about when to break opening principles, particularly to punish your opponent's mistakes, and we looked at some really good examples. Some from my games, some from others. Okay, so we've got pressure on the d file, it's semi-open d file. The pawn on d7 is currently defended 3 times. h4 springs to mind, but I think maybe it's time to think about what to do with this bishop. So one of these 2 pawns has to move, yes. e4 is a very reasonable looking move. Where does my bishop want to be? I think c4. So I'm going to play e4, I think. You always have to be careful about knight here, takes, and then knight coming back. Okay. He flinches. Now, very often I notice that the computer here says you should trade, which I think is interesting. Oi. Dogs have been out for a long walk today, so they got wet, they got very excited. So Zara's running backwards and forwards, and in 2 minutes she'll run back in. Okay. Takes. Don't think so. Takes, bishop takes with tempo. Could drop back here, defending this pawn. Still with the option of maybe sacrificing on h6 later. This puts pressure on this pawn, which is defended only by the queen right now. Or I could just drop back to h4. The question is here, what is the best diagonal, right? Is it this one or is it this one? Because right now my bishop's on both diagonals. Bishops are always on 2 diagonals unless they're in the corner. And my hunch is that this is the interesting one. I was thinking about this. Yes. A bishop here pins the f pawn, obviously. Bishop here defends this, which is not badly defended right now. I might push f3 at some point just to take this square away from that knight and this bishop should it ever open up. h3, f3, g4, bishop d3 or bishop c4. Opponent's quite closed in. Oh. Interesting. So I can't say it's defended only by the bishop, right? But let's say I go here. I'm then attacking it twice, aren't I? Or here. Both of these squares. Can't go there because of the knight. The problem with c4 is I've got ambitions of putting my bishop on that square. Here also pressurizes the bishop. We might then have rook e8. Then I can take though, because if bishop takes, queen takes. Or I could drop back to d2 with the idea of sacking the bishop on h6, takes, queen takes. I kind of like this. It also gives me the option of queen g3, which is a yeah. Okay, so is there anything wrong with this? He's got that. And I'm not sure I want to be giving up a bishop at this point to a fork. Here he comes here. Let's say there, there. Got this queen c4, queen here. Queen c4 temporarily gets in the way of my bishop. He can very easily defend though with a pawn push. And I'm thinking that's quite likely, so he can bring his bishop out this way. So this knight here, I have to give up the bishop pair. Okay, so I think just on balance I'm just going to drop back. So I'm not really attacking this pawn, it's defended once, attack once. I still get the option of bishop c4. Got the option of e5 as well actually. Dislodge the knight with e5. Maybe f4, g4, you know, got lots of pawn options up the king's side. This pawn's not pinned because the queen's actually defended twice. I think it's time to get the bishop out. And fianchettoing doesn't really thrill me because king is over this side of the board. I don't really want to encourage action on the queen side anyway because that's where my king is. So I'd like my opponent's eye, great burning eye, to be focused on this side of the board. He's already given me a slight concession here by pushing h6. This is a 5-11 game. I win 5 points if I win the game. I go up 5 points. I lose 11 should I lose. So this is the Napoleon attack with d4 here. Okay. Okay, so this has brought us up to date. But bishop c4, b5 isn't playable because it's not defended. We might find this. That would be a bit annoying. Would that be encouraging him to start counterplay on this side? Is it very worrying? Here comes the dog again. Hello, Zora. Have you had a clip? Come on. You want to say hello to the boys and girls? Look. Look. Look who's been clipped. Because she's had these horrible skin problems, and we've clipped her, we've shampooed her, we've given her some drugs. You okay? She's got all wet and dirty this morning, so she doesn't know what to do with herself now she's dried out. You okay? Okay, here we go then. A6. Alright, A6. A6 is clearly preparing B5. My knight is probably going to want to run away. It's got a couple of routes. So I'm not going to play bishop c4 now because it's going to walk straight into that. Or am I? Actually, but now maybe the fianchetto makes a bit more sense. Yes, that is what I'm going to do. Because look, if he pushes b5, right? So b5, I stick the bishop here. All I need to do is move this pawn, and I'm attacking this knight and the rook at the same time. It's a thought. I wanted to activate my bishop anyway, and he's just made this square, which was my preferred square, somewhat undesirable. I still have e5 now and f4 as well. Getting a connect 4 here. e5 with tempo. Knight can't go there or there. e5 knight goes here, attacking the bishop. Could push h3, then h3, e5. That would trap the knight. Okay. So opponent had a 3-minute think over that last move as well. Always have this battery here. Need to be cognizant as well that my queen and king are on the same dark square diagonal. Right now it's not an issue. Excuse me. I also have f4 as well. So an 8-hour drive yesterday. 6 hours in the car tomorrow. I'm going down to do a podcast with a friend, Dr. Ahmed Malik. He's got a wonderful podcast about his journey in exploring true health. Definitely a hero, this guy. Yeah, so follow Doc Malik, M-A-L-I-K. Wojciech Marcin. So he's having to think anyway, whatever his name is. So let's say he does this. I'll stick my bishop on there. Whatever he does to threaten my knight's got many options. Probably don't want to put it. Excuse me. Probably don't want to put it on this diagonal, because if I'm going to fianchetto this bishop, I don't want it in the way. But he's got many ideas. Even this. Puts 2 attacks on that pawn. I'm actually up on the clock. So yeah, really interesting thing yesterday. We went through nearly a dozen games or so. Oh, he's done it. He didn't play that straight away. He only went and done it. So now this is a double attack, right? It's a discovery with an attack. That's what I call it anyway. Some people say a double attack when it's a fork. I think a fork's a fork. Okay, so now, okay. So he's wasted a move, moving the rook, arguably. Is it time for e5 yet? What I like about e5 is it gives my knight the e4 square, which puts pressure on here, and it comes with tempo. But if his knight comes in here, it might be an annoying. I'm going to throw in h3 now. I'm not worried about these pawns coming in immediately. I can jump many, many places. So yeah, 8-hour drive yesterday down from the north of Scotland. I've had a lovely break. How do we feel about this position? Black is doing what I didn't want him to do, which is pushing the pawns on the queen side where my king is. However, I would argue his bishops aren't fabulous right now. We might see this move. I think that would be an improvement. He's got his d pawn is lagging behind. There we go. Called it. Now do I just do this? I'm gonna, I'm gonna play a little bit quicker because he's chewing through his time. This is fine. Okay. Now, I've got 3 options. That's also an option. But what this bishop now looks a bit stupid. But I'm just my first hunch is not e2. But this does put pressure on the pawn. Is he going to push d6 there? I don't like that. I mean, it's got no squares there. No, I should still be a set. I've been out and walked the dogs as well today. No, this just makes aesthetically just seems to work. Now takes, queen ends up on here. Knight comes in. This is queen on here. Threats. I've lost the bishop that way. He played that last move pretty quick, didn't he? 3.3 seconds, look at that. Okay, attacked once, defended once. He pushes again, I can just take. Pushes here. We'll see what happens. Where are these pawns? It's defended only by the queen. There's no weaknesses as such. There's always things that are weaker than other things, of course. What do we do? Is this going to be a pawn-based attack? If I'm getting g4, g5, it's a fork, so I'm kind of happy. It forces something to happen. So if he moves the knight away, I take the pawn. And that's not good. Because he loses the pawn, actually. So g4, g5. Get in g4, get in g5. Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, I'm really tired now. But I am nearly 3 minutes up on the clock also. Which is very interesting. Yeah, I think this. The f-pawn runs into trouble, right? But the g-pawn runs into action, which is what we want. So not the right kind of trouble, it just gets boomf, bangs its head on the wall and it stops. And black goes, what was that about? But this is... Gary's the man right now. I'm thinking I'll probably want to keep my rook on the d file while the queen is still on there. Should the queen vacate that file, maybe rook dg1, backing up my pawns. And again, this, but you know, it's like, right, everything's defended. This is not the strongest link in the chain, right? Particularly seeing as I've got my barrage. A barrage, darling, set up against that. I do this. Do you have to push that or that? Either way, he's all right. But you see, the queen has left the d-file. Also double defending this, so I think it's time for g4. And that was a 3.5 minute thinkaroo he had there. 3.5. There. Oh. Bishop takes, I take, queen takes. I lose a pawn. Also, I've got 2 on this. Okay, he's defending that. Right, I'm getting straight in there now. I'm hustling now. Hustling him. Where are you going to go? Well, that was a hasty move, wasn't it? See that? 4.5 seconds. I do not think you wanted to do that. I mean, what's his options though? I don't think he should have... Okay. Right. I think so. So often the rushed moves, you know. Let's investigate this knight again. Should bishop take? I've got queen take. Ooh. Ooh. Threatening to take with the disco on the queen. I take though. This. Is this. Takes. I think pushing on is the... Pushing on, the queen can just take the pawn. Oh, but then I have that. Okay. If queen takes, I have bishop there, very well defended, which is a skewer on queen and rook. Okay, let's not rush. So our opponent do the rushing. No, I think we do want to move the bishop out. I'm going to put him here because g3 also is the same deal because it's still defended by the knight. This is would also be possible. Okay. But now what do you do about this? Interesting how my bishops have managed to find their way to the wrong side of the board. But action is action. It's not all about where the king is. I think in the past I've been far too focused on where is my opponent's king. We've got to attack that corner. Or the middle. Ain't necessarily so. You can break through at any point. I'm just under 9 minutes. My opponent is under 5 now. But counts for nothing because there is an increment. Somebody wants to be friends, of course. Okay, and I think we cash in now. Okay, how worried am I about this? Can I do something about that? If I move my king, he's going to move his rook. I take here. Queen comes in, threatening mate. That's the problem. I haven't got time to retrieve the bishop from b8. So here queen comes in. I have to move my queen to give my king an escape square on d2. Okay, I'm just going to move the king, actually. I'm just slightly anxious there. I've got knight f4 with tempo. He probably has to now burn a move. Okay, alright. I'm going to play knight f4 with tempo. Okay, he's under 5 minutes. It's got to be bishop, hasn't it? Because that comes with tempo again. Queen here. I am actually threatening to take 2 rooks for a queen. And it gets my queen out of the line of that. But it also makes my bishop worse. Bishop could end up there. Okay, I think bishop. I've got either rook coming to e1 as well. There he's got to do this. Same again, another skewer. Okay. All right. Now he is starting to look somewhat extended. Now, which rook to e1? That's an idea. This is also an idea. If he takes, though, this is what I want, isn't it? This is what I want when I want to make use of that. Okay. So b3 with the threat of pinning the queen to the king. Oh, right, okay. Depends where the queen goes. I might get a cheeky check and improve my bishop. Notice his pawns are now too far forward to play a defensive role from this side of the board. They are defending this way. Okay, now I'm going to chuck in a check. I also have this, so he can't go in the corner, can he? All right. He's back over 5 minutes now. There, knight takes. I think that's quite a bad knight right now. I'm quite happy to leave it where it is. Do I attack his bishop? It's defended by the queen, actually. This puts double pressure on there and hits the... Oh, hang on. My rook's hanging. Okay, I'm going to put him here. Just hit this. I mean, it's defended by the queen right now, but the queen's also somewhat stretched. I'm looking at queen d3. But that's not the real target. The real target would be a6 pawn. You take the bishop, I come in here. You can't take the bishop because it takes the bishop, I come in there, check, that's the only legal move, and that's mate. And by the way, this is a fork. So he ain't got time to do that. Same problem. You can't take. Takes. Right, now do I snatch this? No, because I lose my queen. Curses. Gotta get the queen the hell out of there, actually. There he takes there with check. Oh no, queen takes. Hang on there. Takes the check. I take the bishop. She takes the bishop. Oh, it's all getting confusing, isn't it? I'm thankful that knight is still poor. It's also blocking my advanced pawn as well. Okay, do I trade here? I think I trade. This is undefended. Can't take with the queen. So it's pawn or rook, yes? Well, well, well. I take queen. You take queen. Now rook takes isn't playable. Okay. I like the fact that this king is weak. I'm not scared of this. It could actually be beneficial. That's checkmate. Wow. That was good fun. Okay, place your bets. I think opponent played very well. He found some good moves when the time was starting to press. He wasted a lot of time earlier on. 60 for me, 48 for him. That was not... 7 misses. Ouch. Well... Okay, and that's going to give me, oh, damn, 1100. Well, there's somebody who shouldn't be playing chess today. Okay, so here we're better. Oh, I didn't like this. Yeah, no rush with the bishops. Get the pawn in the centre. Makes sense. Okay. And now e4. And we're good here. You see, it's time to trade. 0.3 pawn different. And he's going to take that with the bishop, and then what? Then it's e5 for tempo. I think he'd probably go there, you know. We move out of the way, and we're okay. Anyway, yeah, definitely tired. But a win is a win. Up to 1549. I want to get back to 1600. I want to make my way to 1700 for the first time. I'm not going to do it playing like that. But winning games is winning games. Yeah, I've got a series of misses here. There's a miss there, and I should have played e5. e5 here. That's probably a series of misses. He plays knight g4. Compute says bishop f4. I don't quite see how it's a miss, to be honest. White's only +1 here. But anyway. Fishy thoughts, fishy thoughts. Anyway, so back in the saddle. A little bit rusty, a little bit saddle sore. But we'll carry on from here. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.